He dreads proposing after 8 years but says he'll marry me tomorrow? I am a 30 female and I've been with my 39 male boyfriend for 8 years. I do not want kids and he supports this, but I would like to be married soon. We've been open with each other about wanting to get married since day one and we've lived together for 4.5 years. At the 4-year mark I brought up getting engaged and he said it wasn't the right time because once engaged he wants us to be married within a year. However, he felt like things were too busy with work etc. Then the next year I brought it up again and same thing. Year after that we were talking about rings and I showed him the $1,500 ring I wanted on Etsy. He liked the design and I sent him the link but I didn't send the timeline or anything. But he seemed hesitant and said he wanted a perfect proposal. I told him it didn't need to be an extravagant proposal and could be very simple. Last year I brought up this topic again and he said the proposal was too much pressure and would rather skip ahead to the wedding. So even though I didn't completely understand his hang-up, he's a very confident and non-anxious man. I started looking up wedding venues and getting excited. Then he shut it down and said it was too much and to ask him in 6 months. I waited 12 months because he got injured around the 6th month mark. Lately he's been having more issues with me. Doesn't like my new hiking and backpacking hobby. Feels like I don't prioritize him. Saying he is an afterthought and that this was an issue in his last long-term relationship too. And bringing up problems that I thought we solved from years ago. I feel like I'm a great girlfriend but he has high expectations. I'm starting individual therapy to work on myself because I'm feeling like I'm not good enough etc. Last week I brought up engagement/marriage and couples therapy and how I'm worried he is not going to commit to me because he isn't happy and has all these issues with me. He got super upset and defensive and said he is dreading the proposal but excited to be married to me. He said he'd go to the courthouse tomorrow but he basically said there will not be a proposal. I even said he could propose on the couch at home but I just want him to ask. I don't want to ask. He even brought up an excuse saying I don't like to wear rings. Which is true because I work with my hands for my job but I've said for many years that I will wear the engagement/wedding rings but maybe put a silicone ring on at work. Our therapist suggested we should try focusing on just the marriage part. It was a really frustrating conversation. I appreciate my boyfriend reassuring me that he wants to be with me and is serious about marrying me. But after I waited another year to bring this up and then to have him get so mad and make excuses, I'm really questioning things. I know he loves me and I've accepted he is stubborn but I don't think I am being unreasonable for wanting a proposal. It hurts to hear he's dreading the proposal. Plus it's a tough pill to swallow knowing there won't be a proposal when I made it clear I want one. I'm in a weird spot because now anything I do or say moving forward in relation to wedding planning will feel like I'm forcing him. How should I proceed? Going to the courthouse after all of this doesn't feel right but maybe I need to change my mindset. I also do not think he will take initiative and ask me to go to the courthouse. On Reddit I see other couples skipping the proposal, eloping and being happy in their marriage. But I also see lots of posts advising women to leave the relationship. I have some friends saying to just let go of the proposal and other friends saying my boyfriend is on thin ice. Cook him for some kind and honest advice. Thank you. Summary. My boyfriend told me he doesn't want to propose after 8 years but says he will go to the courthouse tomorrow. He says the proposal is too much pressure and he's dreading it, but he is very direct in saying he wants to marry me. He gets very upset and defensive when I bring up this topic and I don't know how to move forward. It was the pattern in the middle that had my eyebrows raising like that seemed to be like a new excuse all the time, a new timeline, a new reason why now isn't the right time. Like suddenly finding fault with Opie's hobbies and dragging up all sorts of old relationship issues. It just kind of felt like deflection in some way. It's one of those ones where I just think he's never going to propose. I mean it sounded like you scaled back some of your expectations that you said at one point he could even propose on the couch. And then after he came up saying about wow you don't even like wearing rings so why would you want it anyway? Very odd what I'm going to be interested to see the outcome of this but aggravating says sorry Opie but I'm not liking the looks of this. You've been very clear about what you want but instead of finding ways to give it to you, your boyfriend is stalling, making excuses and breadcrumbing you by saying he wants marriage but doing nothing about it. All he's offering is a perfunctory courthouse marriage and it's clear that you'd like at least a little more, nice proposal, ring which isn't unreasonable. You're being shut down and put on the defensive when you try to discuss this with him. You're making yourself smaller and asking for less and less trying to appease him and now after 8 years suddenly he's finding all sorts of faults with you. Ask yourself are these the actions of a loving partner? Not in my book they aren't. Muffins and Cupcake says I think knowing a partner was dreading proposing to me would totally crush my soul. She deserves someone who is excited to propose and marry her and totally agree with the breadcrumbing part. Why has the excuse changed every year? It's like a trickle truth. I don't even think Opie should call his bluff at this point. Partners who are serious will move heaven and earth to lock that shit down. It shouldn't be a battle. Another commenter says the summary of your post is, my long-term boyfriend doesn't respect me. He keeps coming up with faults which he throws in my face when I tell him that I want to spend forever with him as a married couple. So it was around 6 weeks later that Opie came in with an update and says we broke up 2 weeks ago. I did call his bluff, but he said he wanted to ask my dad for permission to not elope right away. The next morning I had a bad gut feeling about eloping and felt like I was pressuring him into it. I told him how I was feeling. He said either we elope or you'll have to wait until I say I'm ready to start planning the wedding. But that didn't feel right. There were also other issues going on in the relationship which a lot of people highlighted in the comments as the main problem here. I started to really reflect on those issues and wrote a pros and cons list. I was wearing rose-colored glasses and saw how many red flags I ignored. Long story short, he confronted me about being distant and asked if I want to break up. I said yes, and then he gaslit me into thinking the problems I listed were not problems. He said he would do anything to stay with me and even said he would propose. A week later he broke up with me and tried to blame me for how things were falling apart. I moved out of our apartment and left him the cats and all the furniture. Around the same time I was offered a travel job in a mountain town close to some national parks and took it. It has been incredibly painful to grieve this relationship, but I truly do believe the saying if he wanted to he would. In the end we were incompatible. He didn't like how I changed over the years and made me feel like I was the problem. I'm now working on rebuilding my self-worth and I'm going back to hike/backpack all summer. I won't let another person dull my light again. I won't make myself smaller. I never want fear to hold me back. It's been an incredibly difficult breakup, but I'm grateful for my friends and family who have been here to support me. Thank you to this community and everyone who left kind comments to encourage me to reevaluate the relationship, sending love to anyone in a similar situation or going through a breakup. A couple of the top comments after this one says, and now you can be happy. Good riddance to the weights that hold us down. Jabra fan says the worst thing is, she didn't leave him. She let him stay. Her boyfriend broke up with her. Another commenter says 100% he tried to get back in the dating game by making an online dating account and realized no woman wanted him. And one more commenter says, and now even OP doesn't want him. He could have had it all with her back when. But no, he didn't want that. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. In the end, I think it's worked out best for OP. She's starting over in a new place with beautiful scenery and healthy activities. How is that not the plot to a whole bunch of rom-coms? I mean, yeah, in some ways, it sounded like it was good for OP that they are getting to go to a place where they can do their hobby or as much as they like. And it sounds like a wonderful place to start rebuilding. When it said I moved out of our apartment and left in the cats and all the furniture, I was like, oh, no. What do you guys make of this situation? How would you have dealt with that if it was you? Maybe a completely different opinion on the matter. Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. Let's move on to another story. Our next story comes from Sailor's Moon 20 and says, am I the asshole for calling my friend a creepy weirdo after she posted a TikTok about my husband? I, 28 female, am friends with this girl. Let's call her June, also 28 female. In fact, my husband, 32 male, and I often hang out with June and her boyfriend, i.e. go on double dates, have weekend trips, etc. We've known each other for over 2 years. I would say that we four were pretty tight as a group up until this weekend. My husband is an orthodontist. One of his patients is June's half-sister, Rhea, 12 female. June often is the one accompanying Rhea to her dental appointments. June is also a small-time online influencer. She's always recording and vlogging and stuff. Then my husband and I have made it clear to her that we're absolutely not okay with our faces in her vlogs online, and she seemed to respect that boundary. We don't use social media apart from Reddit, and we trusted her word when she said she's not going to post us online. Cut to last weekend. My brother sent me this TikTok link with a message, dude, you gotta watch this. I opened the link and it directed me to June's TikTok account. She doesn't have much followers, less than 10K, but the particular video he sent me had 500,000 views and likes, I'm not sure which. Lo and behold, it was a video compilation of my husband with the title, God, I see what you've done for others. The video was honestly the creepiest thing I've ever seen. She had recorded my husband during various of our double dates together, and it was clear he wasn't even aware he's being recorded. In some of the clips, she would start with her face and then pan the camera towards my husband with a cutesy expression and mouth and words like, oh my God. The worst one was where he was working on her half-sister, Rhea, wearing scrubs, and she'd recorded even that. She didn't even bother to blur out the kid's face when she was lying on the dental chair. I showed the video to my husband and he was horrified. He said it made him so uncomfortable and violated knowing that someone had been secretly recording him. He was angry that she recorded him working on a patient. He texted her to ask him to take the video down and delete every video she has of him. At first she feigned ignorance. Then she said that she meant no harm and that it was all for online engagement, since, I quote, TikToks with hot guys go viral very fast. and that she'd gained a lot of followers after posting that. This was all so weird, but my husband and I got our families and friends to report the video and thankfully it's been taken down now. This pissed off June and she sent me a long-ass text saying how I was jealous of her online success and that I couldn't stand seeing her succeed, blah blah blah. I replied saying, "You're delusional and unhinged. You're not successful and you'll never be. Stay away from us, you creepy weirdo." Now she's all weepy and depressed and has been telling our common friends how mean I was to her. She's also been posting about mental health on her socials and how mean some women are with her words, lol. Am I the asshole here? Opie came in with her first update and says I don't want to make another post for the same thing and I doubt I'm going to be updating again. My husband's practice reached out to Rhea's parents and informed them about the situation via an email as they wanted everything documented, like I mentioned in the comments. The parents have responded. They're shocked and very apologetic. They've agreed to chaperone Rhea on her appointments instead of June. They wanted to meet my husband personally to apologize but he informed them that that won't be necessary. June's TikTok video is still in the process of being taken down. No new updates on that. I guess she contested the reports or something, I'm not entirely sure. My husband and I have blocked her. My brother is keeping an eye on her account though just in case she posts something else about us. We'll see what to do if or when it happens. We're going to be consulting a lawyer if she bothers us again in the future. My husband is kind of shaken up, upset, annoyed about this whole thing. He's taken some days off from work and so have I. We'll plan a trip somewhere maybe to take his mind off these things. Right now I need to be there for him. I won't be posting anything for now. We haven't contacted her boyfriend yet. My husband is not in the right headspace right now and I feel it'd be better if we focus on ourselves for the time being. We don't want the added headache of how the boyfriend will react / if he's in on this or whatever. We'll inform him after some time. I know this is selfish but I think it's for the best. Thank you all for your responses. Op comes in with another update and says I genuinely hoped I wouldn't be updating this story again but life had other plans. We thought the drama was done, but nope. We filled June's boyfriend in on everything and he was shocked, hurt and confused. Turns out June managed his social media and he had no clue what she was posting. He thanked us and we thought that was it, but then he asked to meet up saying he needed to discuss something. To be honest, we were extremely hesitant to meet him. We were so done with the drama and didn't want to get sucked back in. But he seemed genuinely concerned and willing to listen so we agreed. At the meeting he revealed he'd confronted June. She broke down, professed her love and claimed her obsession with my husband was for social media clout. Apparently his total package made for great content. When he asked to see her phone she refused so he checked her laptop and found hundreds of sneaky photos and videos of my husband, and for laughs she had pics of me looking my absolute worst, mouth open while eating, weird faces, the works. I think I'm pretty good looking but these photos were the opposite. It's like she wanted to prove a point about my husband's ugly wife. June's boyfriend dumped her, but honestly we're even more freaked out now. The scale of her obsession is terrifying. Hundreds of photos and videos, that's not just a crush, that's fixation. The thought of her escalating to something more is keeping us up at night. As a small consolation, June's boyfriend made her delete the videos from her social media and laptop, but God knows how many more copies she has. Despite June not reaching out after all this went down, we're still on high alert. Her radio silence is kinda unnerving and we're bracing ourselves for whatever might come next. Hopefully it is in fact just for social media clout, not some weird baby reindeer type obsession with my husband. It's kinda unsettling how she was friends with me for over 2 years. We hung out often, we've gone on weekend trips with her and her boyfriend, we have so many mutual friends, and yet no one knew she was doing this behind our backs. Either I'm bad at reading people or she's very good at being sneaky and deceptive. I'm also mentally kicking myself for not realizing that someone was taking pictures of me. I feel my husband and I both need to be less dumb and more aware of our surroundings, lol. On a brighter note, Rhea's parents are super thankful to my husband for still treating Rhea after everything. That's it for now, hopefully this is really the end. It's not. 2 months later, Opie comes in with another update and says, I've been sharing some updates on a pretty unsettling situation we've been dealing with. For those who haven't seen my previous posts, the short version is that my husband and I had a friend, June, who started acting super obsessively towards my husband. She secretly recorded him, posted weird videos of him online, and we eventually had to cut ties with her. So after not hearing from June for 3 weeks, things took a really creepy turn on Friday. We hadn't heard a word from her, so we both got a little more relaxed about the whole situation. We went back to work and everything seemed fine, but turns out, we were wrong. My husband went to the store after work to grab some groceries. He had no idea June was following him, but when he got to the parking lot, there she was. As soon as he saw her, he tried to get in his car as quickly as possible, but she was already closer and blocked the way to the door. He tried to walk away, but she stepped in front of him, begging him to talk to her. She kept saying it was just a harmless crush and that she'd leave us alone if he'd just listen. She even said, "Please talk to me." He didn't respond and kept trying to walk away, but she wouldn't let him. She begged again and reached into her coat pocket. My husband heard a metallic sound and instantly thought she might be pulling out a weapon. In a split second, he grabbed her hand and stopped her and pushed her away with force. She lost her balance and fell down, but he didn't stick around. He quickly jumped in his car and sped off as fast as he could. Thankfully, she didn't follow him. After getting away, my husband immediately contacted the police. They managed to get security footage from the parking lot and it shows two people, a man and a woman, running towards the car. After a short while, the man pushes the woman down and quickly gets in the car, speeding off. The footage wasn't super clear, but it shows the general sequence of events. Of course, it's still not totally clear what she was planning or what she had on her, but the situation was extremely tense. We've been trying to get a restraining order against her and hopefully this time we'll get it, but we're not entirely sure how things will unfold now. We're also moving to my parents' home country for a while just to feel safer and take a step back from everything. It's going to be tough rebuilding our lives from scratch, but I guess that's what's in our destiny. So yeah, that's where we're at. This whole situation is terrifying and we're just trying to keep our heads straight and stay safe. I'll keep you all posted if anything else happens, but for now, we're just trying to lay low and handle this as best as we can. So that brings us to 10 months after the very first post and about 8 months from the last update. Op comes in one more time at the moment and says, "We didn't end up relocating." Things eventually calmed down. June's parents actually came over and apologized. They told us she checked herself into a mental rehab facility. She's been diagnosed with some stuff. I'm not going to get into details, but apparently she's doing better now. She even messaged us months later and apologized. It seemed genuine. We accepted it, but we've kept no contact and she's respected that. She's still in therapy and being monitored, from what I've heard. But yeah, that's not the part that messed me up. My husband and I are getting a divorce. After everything we went through, I really thought it would bring us closer. I stood by him when he was falling apart. I handled everything. I looked after him. I took care of things. I stayed calm when he couldn't. I thought we were solid. A few months ago, he told me he wanted a divorce, just like that. No fight. No lead-up. I asked why. He just shrugged and said he needed to move on. I asked if something had happened or if I had done something wrong and he just stared at me like I was speaking another language. Like he wasn't even interested in explaining. Looking back, he started changing around 5 or 6 months ago. Like he couldn't be bothered to engage with me anymore. It wasn't sudden exactly, but it was steady. He stopped checking in. Stopped talking unless it was about day-to-day stuff and I kept thinking maybe it was the aftershock of everything we'd been through. That maybe he was just processing everything in his own way. But now, I don't know. I honestly don't know what I was looking at. He went from crying and breaking down in my arms last year to being a dickhead a few months later and I still don't understand what changed. And yeah, I've thought about whether there's someone else. There was this one time I saw him staring at the WhatsApp profile pic of one of the junior dentists at his clinic. He didn't know I was behind him. I asked him what he was looking at and he said, "Her dog. She's absolutely gorgeous, super confident, bubbly, the kind of person who lights up a room and they had this natural chemistry." I've seen it with my own eyes. Nothing I could really call out. Nothing inappropriate. But it was there. I didn't think much of it at the time. I trusted him a lot. Maybe I was just stupid enough to believe he was actually looking at the dog and not the young beautiful woman in the photo. Maybe stupid enough to think that my husband was different from the other men who cheated on their wives. Maybe it's a coincidence that she broke up with her longtime boyfriend at the same time. Or maybe it's nothing. Maybe I just want there to be a reason because honestly the way he flipped out on me out of nowhere doesn't make sense. I still don't get it. I feel like I'm missing something. He's already filed and moved out. We barely speak. He's a stranger now and I'm just trying to keep it together. I've been drinking more than I should. I know it's not the answer but it's what I've been doing to get through the days. I'll sort myself out eventually. I just don't know when. That's where I'm at. I don't know if I'll update again, thanks to the people who've been following this whole thing. And I wonder what the reason could be. There was many people speculating in the comments. You know, obviously the potential junior dentist, the convenient timing and the breakup, etc. Maybe he blames you for June in this situation and is resenting you for it. Or potentially a trauma response to the actual stalking in itself. It sounds like it took a toll on both of you. Maybe he's having a midlife crisis and wants a fresh start. Or potentially someone else said that he might have felt emasculated by how you had to handle everything and take care of him during this breakdown. But in the end, the problem isn't you. You handled the stalker. You did your best to keep your marriage together and supported him through at the same time. And it's really sad that it's come to this in the end. And I really hope that you're able to move forward in a healthy way as well. And remember your worth at the same time. And I don't mean to play down a situation, but Opie did make me chuckle a little bit in the last update. I know it's an incredibly sad update, but it was just the wording that Opie said. And I asked what he was looking at and he said a dog. And then went on to say she's absolutely gorgeous, super confident and bubbly. And at first I thought she was talking about the dog. I thought, what a great dog. But anyway, I'm going to turn this one to you guys. What do you guys make of this situation? What do you reckon's going on with the husband? Why did he ask for that divorce so suddenly? Is it something as simple as the junior dentist? Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. And just a huge thank you for being here today. Getting involved in the stories, your love, your support, your time. It always means the absolute world to me. So thank you so much for being here. Hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Take care and much love.